Do you know what? Some people call this a hidden gem in Lancashire. If you don't like the hustle and bustle of Blackpool, just further down the coast, you'll come to a place called St Annes and Lytham. And personally, I absolutely adore this place. It is so pretty, and here's why. Seat inside the train. Amazing. So we're going to start the tour here just outside of the beach cafe. Just a point of reference, best place to park actually in the car park, but on a busy day there's obviously parking down the seafront. But let's start the walk as we head down towards St Annes Pier. It's a gorgeous day today, a lot of people out. Now this is during the week. And it's really busy, but we're going to walk through my favourite part of St Annes, which is the Ornamental Gardens. Now what's really great is that you can actually walk underneath that waterfall. I know the sun is in shot at the moment, probably making it a little bit glary, but you'll see what I mean. As you walk through here, you can actually get underneath the waterfall. Look at that. So you can actually walk underneath the waterfall. That is quite nice. And these houses obviously up and down St Annes. I like to call it Millionaire's Row. Don't know if any of them actually cost $1 million, but at least in the hundreds of thousands anyway. But this is a lovely walk really towards the pier. Don't know if they put anything in the water to make it look so green looking, but as you can see what that guy's doing there, he's actually walking across the stones, which you are allowed to do. So we could continue walking down there, or we can actually go across these stepping stones. And obviously I've got sketches on which don't have any kind of tread on them, so here goes. They're not moving, which is good. Are they moving? No, they're not moving. Probably nice just to stand in the middle and take in the view whilst you're standing on the in the middle of the lake. Well, it's not really a lake, is it? It's a pond. So I continue going across. Easy. It's very calming walking around here. Question is, you know, where do you go? Which path do you take? Which is the best path to take? Let me know in the comments. I think, to be honest, that side, but because it's quite dark at the moment, I'm just going along here for a little bit because the sun's kind of glaring on the other side, so it's best to see it from here. Look at that though, isn't that beautiful today? The water is very green. Is that algae? Or do they put colouring in the water? I don't know. Best thing about St Annes is obviously the sunset, especially in the summer, and if you can get a shot of the pier at sunset, it looks totally amazing. We'll have a walk on the prom on the way back in just a little bit, but compared to Blackpool, it's a lot quieter in St Annes, and it is really relaxing, I think. Some golf here, pitch and putt. I think it's an adventure thing there for the kids. I'm sure I've seen some of these apartments come up for sale at around about 600,000-700,000, although that was a good few years ago, so they're probably a lot more now. There is more here than you actually think. When you drive past in the car, you see St Annes Pier, but all this is kind of hidden, so it's definitely worth having a walk up. This is golf, right? Pitch and putt, yeah, no one's playing it today. And just like Clacton, there's a Toby carvery right on the seafront. I'm not sure whether you get sea views. You probably do, I'm not sure. Just here is an outdoor play area. Water park for the kids. Well, I say water park, it's a splash zone, but quite nice on a hot day, right? The only thing I'd say, now I'm a dad, is there's a lot of concrete around for kids to fall over and hurt themselves. So you can get a map here, and what you can actually do is obviously take a walk from St Annes, and you can actually go back up the seafront towards Lytham that way. It's a really nice walk, especially on a day like today. Island cinemas there. Not many seaside resorts have a cinema literally almost on the beach. And something that I really love here in St Annes is this what looks like a train station with a train in it, but it's kind of like a cafe. It's so unique. Look at this. So not only is it a cafe, but it's also some shops as well. That's so random, isn't it? Look at that. It's even on its own train tracks. Down there. I wonder what it's like in here. Let's have a look. So you can actually take a seat inside the train. Look at this. This feels so weird. It's kind of in and out of the train, so the kitchen's actually in there. Amazing. Can't say I've ever seen anything like this before. Station Cafe. And as you go out, look, this is, so you can see the cafe, and then actually going back into the train, which is just here, which they've obviously used as the kitchen. That's the takeaway bit. So we go out the door, be polite, shut the door. That is the craziest thing ever. How much are their fish and chips? $6.95. Chips and curry $3.50. There's the end of the train. Can we actually walk around it? Oh yeah, you can. Look, they used to sell donuts out the end there. Some very nice seafront gardens. Those people are very lucky that live up there. You can probably just see in the distance as well St Annes Pier, which is probably one of the most unique, if not the uniquest pier in the country, because it looks like a house or a station. It's so interesting. Just notice these flower beds are all shaped like stars. Can you see that? Now this was filmed on the 1st of March, and it does feel like spring. The temperature's around about 12 degrees. Let's walk this way, just up on the promenade. So we'll have a walk around there just after we check out the pier. You've got a really good fish and chip shop called The View there, and it certainly does have an amazing view. But if you've never been down to St Annes Beach, pretty much like Southport, it is massive. The tide goes out for miles, and you rarely see the tide coming in. It's interesting, it reminds me of Southwold Pier, the look of it. It's an interesting pier. There's nothing on the end of it, and you can still see there where the old bit of the pier stuck out. In fact, I'll walk around this entrance because it's a lot more grander when you see it. Look at that, there's people sitting in there. You see, the Victorians, they did a lot for us, especially at the seaside. You know, we would never do anything like that nowadays, would we? We wouldn't build anything like that, because I guess a lot of people don't see the point in them. But you know, in the Victorian day, it was quite nice to build structures like that on the seafront. Just coming up to the bandstand. So this is normally filled with water, but look at that, the sand's actually blown up from the beach. Seen them do some live music on there before. So I wonder if anyone lives up there at the minute. There's net curtains up there. Like I say, it's once we move out of the sun, it's such a special pier, because there's not many piers in the country that look like a train station stroke house. It is closed today. We just look through the doors. Look at the sand, look. Look at that, 1899. Amazing. There was a cafe and somewhere to get some donuts, ice cream and fish and chips just on the corner. And the entrance to the beach is just here. Now obviously, as I can't go on it because it's still currently closed for the winter, although I think it is open on weekends, we can go underneath it, which is what I'm going to do now. But I love the, I would call them fire exits, but they've got little balconies all the way along. But you can see the part of the erosion on the steel, look at that. That's starting to really age. Just look at this. The Victorian architecture underneath this pier, look. The beach is always so flat here in St Annes, and like I say, it's not very often you'll see the water come right up unless it's been a really stormy period. I love the way this just it comes to a point here, look, where it all just sticks out at the sides. And again, not very often do you hear pigeons underneath the pier. Look at that. Photographer's dream under here, though. Really is. And going right to the end of the pier. I don't know if you can see that up there. I don't know if the camera picks up. There's a dollhouse on there. Look at that. So as you know, I love going under piers, and going under St Annes Pier is definitely an experience. But the beach, it's pretty big. just like Blackpool really. And when the tide is out, you could walk a good mile or so to dip your toe in. So I just thought I'll take you out to this, because back in the old days, you used to be able to get a boat to either Liverpool, over in that direction, or Blackpool, of course, all the way over there. I mean, look how far I've just walked out, and you can still see the dock here where boats used to, or steamers used to dock, and people would get on the boats. Look at the cast iron statue there. It's amazing. Look at that. See there where they would tie up the boats. Look at that. That cast iron. Still stands the test of time. Might be a little bit rusty. These cast iron structures that have been here since the 1800s. And just left for the weather to take its toll. Look at that, you can actually see the iron bits of structure all the way through here. So definitely worth a walk out and see where the steamers used to come and drop people off at St Annes, and then head on to Blackpool and Liverpool. In fact, you can probably see Southport from here. Can we see the tower? We can just, well, I can just about see the Blackpool Tower just poking out there. You can see the big one. Just coming off the beach, look, you can see how the sand is built up there. We come back onto the seafront. We come towards the boating lake. And overlooking the boating lake, you've got a really nice fish and chip restaurant called The View. I love the RNLI over there. Such a beautiful building. I love how the roof comes down. Almost looks like a boat, doesn't it? Best time of the day to come down to St Annes is when the sun is setting, which it kind of is doing now. This is a really lovely building, the RNLI in Lytham and St Annes. Windows are like portholes. So you've got pretty much everything in St Annes. It's not very often you see a show home for a beach hut. This is what you could have here in St Annes, and I think they're adding more as well. And as beach huts go, these are pretty nice, with their own decking as well and little awnings, and you can get an amazing sunset over the estuary and looking out over the Irish Sea. And by the way, if you want to see what Blackpool looks like in the summer, click the video here. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.